All right, let's pick up on number 6. So we have a 45, even though that says 46, I'm telling you, 45, 45-90 triangle. So in our general case, if you look, scroll down to the bottom or scroll to the back page, I got a root 2. So this is a root 2. And notice this 18 doesn't have an a root 2, so I have to do some work, or if you know the shortcut, I'll talk about it later. All right. To get rid of the square root, I square both sides. Okay, that becomes 2a squared equals 324. Remember, if I square the square root, it cancels out, so it's just 2, but I also have to square the a to make it a squared. Divide both sides by 2, I get a squared equals 162. Take the square root. There is no square root of 162, but I can break it down to 81 and 2. So that means this is 9 radical 2. So both B and C are 9 root 2. 9 root 2. If it's a 45, 45, 90, and there isn't a root 2 where they're supposed to be, I just divide the 18, or whatever that number is, by 2, and then slap a root 2 on it. So 18 divided by 2 is 9, slap a root 2, it's 9 root 2. All right? Let's try the next one. Here we go. Okay. 37 is not a special right triangle. Opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse, I have to use trig. All right, I want to find x first, O and A. Tangent of 37 equals x over 12. Put this over 1. Cross multiply. X equals 12 times the tangent of 37. 12 times the tangent of 37. X is what I get, 9.04. All right. Now to find y, I can do two things. I could do the Pythagorean, I could do the Pythagorean theorem, or I could use trig again. I'm going to do the Pythagorean theorem. I'm going to go 9.04 squared plus 12 squared equals y squared. 9.04 squared plus 12 squared is 225.7216. Square root both sides. Y equals 15.02. Okay. You could have done trig as well. I could have done, I would have done cosine to use A as 12 and H as Y. All right, let's keep going. We got more trig here. All right, so I got opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. Okay. Opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. I'm going to use the hypotenuse. And what did I do first? I did sine, the opposite. So I went sine of 40 equals E over 7.6. Put this over 1. Cross multiply. E equals 7.6 times the sine of 40, which is 4.89. Now again, I can use the Pythagorean theorem, or I could do trig again. I'm going to do trig again, okay, because I used the Pythagorean theorem on the last one. So cosine of 40 equals F over 7.6. Put this over 1. Cross multiply. F equals 7.6 times cosine 40. So what did I get for F? 5.82. Let's keep going. Find missing angles. I gotta find some missing angles. So I'm gonna find G. I think I found G first. Yeah. O, A. It doesn't matter which angle you find first. All right. You gotta find H first as well. All right. If I find G first, okay, notice I have O, A, and H. I have all three sides. I can just pick one. All right, pick a trig function, sine, cosine, or tangent. Pick your favorite one. All right, then use that. I use sine, so I'm going to go sine of angle G equals 12 over 37. Again, you could just skip to this part. G is the sine inverse of 12 over 37. I got G to be 18.92 degrees. So I could do it again. I could use trig again to find H, or I could use what I know about triangles and subtract 90 and 18.92 from 180. That would give you, what did I get, 71.02 degrees. Holy bug, this is a long page. All right, let's keep going. Here we go. 40. Opposite. Adjacent. Hypotenuse. I did sine first, so sine of 40 equals 5.8 over J. Put this over 1. Cross multiply. J equals 5. Holy buckets, I did that wrong. Try it again. Sine of 40 times J equals 5.8. Divide both sides by a sine of 40. Notice how x is in the denominator. That's how I know to divide, if people remember the shortcut. So J equals 9.02. Again, I could do trig again, or I could just use the Pythagorean theorem. I'm going to do the Pythagorean theorem. J is my hypotenuse, so it's 5.8 squared plus k squared equals 9.02 squared. I end up getting k squared equals 47. So 5.8 squared is 33.64, and then subtract it. 81 minus that to get 47.7204. Square root it, k equals 6.91. Holy buckets. All right, last one on the page. Yikes. Here we go. This is supposed to say DF. All right, so I'm going to call this X, Y, and Z. All right, I want to find X first. So I got the small and the medium triangle. So I know this is 32 and this is 2, so I have 32 and X and 2. What do I see twice? I see the X, so 32 over X equals X over 2. Cross multiply. X squared equals 64. What's the square root of 64? 8. 8. All right, so now I can use that to help me find the other two sides. Okay? So if I look here, here's a right triangle, and there's a right triangle. All right? So when we look at that yellow right triangle, all right, the y is my hypotenuse. Here's my right angle. There's my hypotenuse, so it's going to be 2 squared plus 8 squared equals y squared. 2 squared is 4, 8 squared is 64. Add them together, I get y squared equals 68. Square root both sides. I got root 4 and root 17, so y equals 2 root 17. 2 root 17. Decimal, what do I get for the decimal? 8 1/4 roughly. Last one, the green triangle. All right, z is the hypotenuse, so I got 8 squared plus 32 squared equals z squared. 32 squared is a big number. It's what? 1024 plus 64. I got 1088. That's a huge number. I can guess and check and see which perfect square goes into it. I'm just gonna leave it in decimal form for you guys because I know you like that better. 32.9. All right, that's that page for you. Wow, that was a long page.